Okay, here we go again. And welcome to Overtime, brought to you by KingsCast at www.kingscast.net. I'm Keith Kornelick.
And I'm Chris Kalazewski.
That's right, Kings fans. We are back, checking in with you again on the Lockout. Happy holidays, Christmas coming up, no hockey.
That's right. Joyous Kwanzaa, too, to everyone out there. We're here to talk about the Lockout up to now. We're going to talk about David Courtney, get our top 10 things that we like more than Gary Bettman. We'll also take your questions from Facebook and Twitter.
So here we go. It is episode 175 entitled Kim Kardashian Sex Tape, Tim Tebow, LA Kings Cup Champs.
What's up, Kings fans? We are back after a little hiatus. Obviously, not a hell of a lot to talk about. And just be clear, we're not covering the rain. We're not doing Raincast. We're not driving to Ontario. It's just not in the cards for us. So sorry, everyone who's disappointed.
Which is probably like one or two people.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm apologizing to those two people.
Yeah. Little Kings news that just came up. David Courtney, voice of the Los Angeles Kings, the guy that kicks off every goal, every penalty, and the only time the Los Angeles Kings won the Stanley Cup, passed away a few days ago. And I will say that one of the most joyous things about going to Staples Center since we became season ticket holders, I don't know how many years ago, was listening to him. Ladies and gentlemen, your Los Angeles Kings. It's not a voice you can replace. Not a guy like that.
No, it's a huge, devastating loss for Kings fans. I mean, everyone knew David Courtney. Very nice man, very approachable. You know, I met him a couple years ago. We did at Tippa King where he did a shout out for us for the podcast back in the podcast days.
Yeah.
It really was. I mean, the guy's got a booming voice. I mean, we go to a lot of sport events, all over the country, but I honestly can't recall anyone as good as him. So it's just like when the banner eventually is raised, in the next year, hopefully. It's just not going to be the same without David Courtney there. So, our condolences, absolutely just a major bummer. It's way too soon, so.
Yeah, way too soon.
Hi, this is David Courtney, Kings Public Address Announcer, and you're listening to KingsCast.
On to even more devastating news. The lockout is still in full effect. Los Angeles Kings have not taken to the ice, and it looks like some positive things are happening now. Owners and players are meeting without Gary Bettman, without the Fear brothers, but, still not all that encouraged and still kind of wondering why, Chris.
Yeah, lots of reports coming out here and there. I mean, it's just like, it seems like every week or so, it's like, there's optimism. Oh, they crushed it. Oh, they're happy. Oh, they're not. It's just like, we're not getting straight answers here. And I'm not going to believe it until I see it, until I hear the season is back. But it's getting down to the wire there, Keith. I mean, it's obviously, the Winter Classic has been axed, All-Star game, lost, hundreds and hundreds of games. And I believe there's a deadline now where they're going to call it. And I mean, even if it does reach that deadline, you hate to see a season that's so short. I mean, you look at the Kings last year, what they had to do to win the Cup. I mean, they played 102 games. I mean, that's what it takes to me to be a champion in this league. I mean, that's the hard part about it. And the Kings did the short version, too. I mean, they were 16-4. So, there's years where there's 110 games. It's just, it's a major bummer. I mean, it's just like to be on such a high like that back on June 11th, back on the roof where we used to shoot. And here we are now. It's almost Christmas time, and it's still nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think in the next couple of days we'll see the December game, the rest of the December games finally get canceled. And, I'm going to say probably by mid-January, if there's no deal, you could see an end to hockey season. I'm still cautiously optimistic, especially with what's been going on the past 2 days. Apparently there's been some forward momentum. But I think the thing that really bothers me, Chris, is that, you get in the playoffs. I'm assuming the Kings will make it this year. In fact, I'm guaranteeing it. Ashley Denise-Huber. There's got to be like a star next to, this season's Stanley Cup winner. You know what I mean? If you're only playing 50 games and, then into the postseason, did you really, really do it? I mean, that's a lot of games lost. Unless the Los Angeles Kings win the Stanley Cup again, then it makes complete sense to me. But, you're not really going to see a Stanley Cup champion, at the end of this season. And I don't know, that kind of bothers me. But, hey, I'm a glutton for punishment. I will still watch hockey when it comes back on, if it ever does.
Yeah. All right, Kings fans. So speaking of Gary Bettman, a lot of hate out there for him. A lot of players calling him out. Ian White had a little rant there not too long ago. Not
Put a
alone.
bullet through his head or something.
Yeah, there's been a lot of crazy stuff out there. Obviously not a guy who's on the top of our list. And really quickly, we talk about this all the time. If there is a head of a corporation, a large corporation, who is sort of a toxic figure, very unpopular, not achieving the results that you would expect, usually you get rid of him.
Typically, that's what happens.
So we're here to give our top 10 things that we actually like more than Gary Bettman.
Number 10, Hurricane Sandy.
Number 9, getting a root canal.
Number 8, Jar Jar Binks.
Number 7, diarrhea.
Number 6, Mahmoud Ahmadinejad.
Number 5, women who wear short shorts and Ugg boots.
Number 4, MySpace.
Number 3, AIDS.
Number 2, the Anaheim Ducks.
Yeah, the number one thing that we enjoy more than Gary Bettman, adult circumcision.
All right, Kings fans, a little light on content for a show where there hasn't been any hockey, so we reached out to you on Twitter, on Facebook, to take your questions so we could fill up a couple of minutes and still produce this wonderful bit of media entertainment you see before you. So let's take some questions from the fans. First, from Dan Hortzman, is there going to be a season? Dan, I am, as I said, cautiously optimistic. I think that if we don't see something in the next couple of days out of these owner-player meetings, then it might be in jeopardy.
Yeah, definitely. And also from Andrew Gruber, Hans Gruber's brother, I think.
Yes.
When did the Kings get their rings? Okay, this kind of goes along with the banner thing. I think you raise the banner first. The rings are probably in production, I'm imagining.
Yeah.
We don't have a date on that. We asked our sources. They are not quite sure when they're getting rings, but I'm sure they're going to be awesome, and we hope to see that in the next couple months.
And get ours in the mail.
Yeah,
as
of course.
Yeah. All right, this one from our pal Christian Ginn. What kinds of things have you guys done during the lockout? Watch Manchester, watch the ECHL, watch the KHL, watch other sports, or work? I have not watched a lot of hockey, actually. No ECHL. I've sort of been following the Monarchs, but I haven't really watched them either. Mostly just work, play, spending time with the family, and rehabbing my liver off the Stanley Cup run.
Yeah, I know. It's actually kind of amazing how much money that we have saved.
A lot.
Yeah. Okay. Armin, I'm going to say this because I have a hard last name too. Dejhanjazukian. I probably butchered that, but let us know, Armand, what that is. LA Kings, will they get the Winter Classic in 2014? I'm going to go ahead and say they will never get the Winter Classic here in Los Angeles. There are too many other venues, too many other good matchups. I can see them being in it, but it will not be at the Coliseum or Dodger Stadium or wherever else in Los Angeles. It could be a cool place. It's just never going to happen. I could see them maybe playing, the Rangers. We talked about that in the past, and maybe another East Coast opponent, but it will never happen in Los Angeles.
No, not at all. Next up from our pal, Gan Matsuda of Frozen Royalty. His question, wait, who are you guys again?
Gan, we're actually someone that Dustin Penner likes.
And we're actually a site that gets some traffic.
Okay, our next question is from Don Perez, our good friend Don from Facebook, and he is saying who's going to be doing the announcing from now on for the Kings. I think it's a little early right now. Obviously, some big shoes to fill. Someone with a big booming voice like that, you just don't replace very easily. I'm sure there'll be some sort of open auditions. I nominate Keith Korneluk. He's got that bassy voice.
Well, thank you, Chris.
I can see him saying it. So, yeah.
I'll throw my hat into the ring. Will never happen. Next up, Chris Bond, Puckin Guy, our pal, the big guy with the Burger King hat. His question, did you miss me? You're goddamn right we did.
We do miss you. We miss your Dallas clip. Remember we used to do that? We used to send him out to fight people in Dallas?
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, it was cool.
All right, Kings fans, well, that brings us to the end of another glorious, action-packed, content-rich episode. Don't forget to hit us up online, twitter.com/KingsCast, facebook.com/KingsCast. We on everything, practically, that's KingsCast. So look forward to that. And next up, maybe we'll do a holiday show. Maybe not. Quite frankly, does anyone really care if hockey's not on?
Your question of the day, does anyone really care if hockey's not on? Leave your comments as always downstairs.
So there we go. I'm Keith Korneluk.
And I'm Chris Kalaszewski.
Thank you for watching Overtime by KingsCast.